Welcome to A to Z Sports Prime Time on this Thursday, June the 5th. It's been a hell of a day. If you're paying attention to everything that's going on in the social media world, so we're going to see if we can't calm things down a little bit or give you a little bit of peace of mind for your Thursday afternoon. A beautiful day in Middle Tennessee. Not Elon and Trump, not Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, but T-Sweat is where we are going to spend our time this evening, and then we'll do a little defensive line improvement prognostication, a little weekend bounce back, and then we'll send you on your merry way. It's always good to have you guys in here, and we even more so appreciate when you share the broadcast around to all your Titans friends on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch, because we are going to talk about a very critical place of improvement. A lot of people, I think, just generally, a lot of Titans fans, it seems, are interested, understandably so, in the progress of TVondre Sweat, because you're looking for that duo of Sweat and Jeff Simmons to really take it up a notch this year, to give you a legitimate advantage and to help maybe make up for some places where the Titans will have deficiencies, specifically that defensive front, as they try to round it into form with Femi Oladejo and Draymond Jones and all the other things that they've added alongside what they're bringing back. So we will hear from T-Sweat and Brian Callahan, because I thought he set a pretty high bar for TVondre when he gave his press conference earlier this week, and we'll look forward to doing all those things together. Share the show around Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. You know the vibes, and if you're so inclined, text the link, easy for me to say, to a friend if they are interested in joining us here Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I know I can't just say Sunday through Thursday anymore, but that's all well and good. We always appreciate you guys and the way that you support. And with that, we'll go ahead and jump right in. Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on this Thursday, June the 5th. I'm your host, Buck Rising, and I'm proud, as always, to be presented to you by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer, online at tworiversford.com. Employee pricing for everyone is what they offer. Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet, or online at tworiversford.com for more details. And TrueMav Fitness in the Gulch. You know, tomorrow morning is my TrueMav day to go get some personal training done, but you don't have to just make it on Fridays, or you don't have to just make it personal training. TrueMav has all manner of great options, including your first workout free at truemavfitness.com for more details. Okay, TVondre Sweat in year two is an interesting figure in the middle of all the different things that the Titans are trying to get done. And the Two Rivers Ford take for you guys tonight is, what are your expectations for TVondre Sweat in year two? For the second-round pick out of Texas in 2024, a player who, you know, with plenty of question marks and red flags coming into his rookie year, I really thought had such a, what's the word that I'm looking for? Not an impressive lack of drama around him, but there was a lot more drama on the front end, and understandably so. Like, there were legit criticisms of Sweat. There were legit things to kind of keep an eye out for, and how would he manage his situation? How would he manage his weight? How would he handle being in a city like Nashville, where there is plenty of nightlife, and T-Sweat is known, or certainly was at Texas, known for, you know, being a participant in the nightlife. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but at the professional level, you understand that it becomes much harder to maintain those kind of lifestyles. And then, of course, the DUI situation in the month, I think, leading up to his NFL draft. TVondre Sweat was a very dramatic pick when he was made, but then was a player who came in with a very large or little amount of drama, I guess is what I should be saying about any of that stuff. His conditioning, his interest in going out. I know T-Sweat likes to get out and about town, but I know that they have put him in position to succeed as far as his caloric intake. And frankly, you know, he's handled everything that you thought he might not handle pretty well to this point. And you hope that he continues that momentum, right? 1 year is not enough. You have to continue to maintain. And plenty of Titans fans, I think, had a little bit of scar tissue built up from the Isaiah Wilson situation about certainly a lineman who's coming in with, I mean, hell, on the front end, Isaiah Wilson had less red flags than TVondre Sweat did. But I think that a lot of people saw Sweat and said, well, hopefully we didn't just draft another Isaiah Wilson as Titans fans. And then T Sweat went out there and produced at a high level and looks like he should be able to build upon something really, really special because they're setting the bar high. So what are your expectations for TVondre Sweat in year 2? Let's hear from Brian Callahan to that effect right after I remind you that your Two Rivers Ford take is made possible by the wonderful folks at Two Rivers Ford, quality American-made Ford vehicles and award-winning customer service on offer. Two Rivers Ford employee pricing for everyone is also a huge ongoing thing. You pay what they pay on almost every new Ford on the lot. Great deals, always great financing, always at Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com for more details. So you have your expectations for TVondre Sweat. So does Brian Callahan, who spoke about that very subject on Tuesday.
I think it's the details of the position. You know, he's a supremely talented person. There's not a lot of people on the planet that can do what he does at his size. And it's more about the consistency of performance. Would like to see more from the pass rush game. He's got ability to rush for a man his size, and that's part of point of emphasis for him is affecting the quarterback more. He's a tremendous run defender. That was a strength of his already from last year, and the part of it's going to be just improving the detail and then improving the ability to help affect the quarterback. So I think those are the things we're looking for progression-wise from him. And he has the ability to be a full three-down player. He's not necessarily your explosive interior pass rushers that are out there, but he's got great ability to push the pocket too. So looking for more of that from him. And I think he had a solid start to his career, and I think there's a whole lot more meat on that bone for him.
Encouraging things you've seen from Cam, maybe from the first OTA to what is this, number 5 today?
Yeah.
So that was Brian Callahan at the podium on Tuesday talking about TVondre Sweat and the technical elements of it, right? How much he has, how much more he can do given his incredible athletic gifts, because it's very difficult for a man that size, 6'4", 3, I don't know exactly what he's in fact, we asked him what he weighs these days, and he was not willing to disclose that. In fact, he deferred to the coach after the coach had talked, which always makes me laugh. But, you know, let's just say he's 3'4" or 6'4", 365, right? Ballpark. So maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But it's very difficult for a man that size to move as well as TVondre Sweat does. And interior defensive linemen, they're never going to be box score stuffers, right? And Callahan brought up the idea of what he brings to the table, how much more he can do as far as the pass rush goes, because he had 2 sacks last year. He was credited with 31 solo tackles, and he had a forced fumble. Obviously, that recovery against the Bengals, it was a big deal where he threw a stiff arm down and ran it back a little while. He has, in terms of hurries, 19 total hurries, 2 quarterback hits, 23 pressures last year. Did not bat any passes down. But he played 699 snaps, right? He was not an issue when it came to being available. And they want to continue to improve that availability or that durability for TVondre Sweat because they're going to need him, right? They don't have a ton to work with. And, of course, as far as what he was able to do, he was a top 30 defensive lineman in terms of stops last year. He had 24 stops that he was credited with and assisted on 21 additional tackles. So it really, really high-level stuff from a player that, you know, you came in with certain questions about. And for me, I think it's completely reasonable to picture him as a top 15 player at his position. Certainly that's what the ceiling is. I don't know if he'll accomplish that in year 2, but you hope for a more healthy Jeff Simmons season that he could benefit from, Sweat could. And you hope that they get at least a little juice off the edge to help make that unit more of what you envisioned when you drafted TVondre Sweat to play alongside Jeffrey Simmons, because it left you wanting last year. And I know the penalties and the special teams put them in bad situations as well. That, you know, it's fair to see them with a better sample size. But I think that, you know, part of my expectation for Sweat revolves around our next topic, which we'll get to right now. Where do you expect the Titans defense to improve year over year the most? So from 2024 to 2025, what category or, you know, specific thing, statistic, whatever you want to qualify this as, where do you expect the most improvement from 2024 to 2025 for the Titans on defense? We'll talk about that together right after I remind you that TrueMap Fitness in the Gulch is where you go for your first workout free as a Middle Tennessee resident. No workout ever recycled or repeated. TrueMav just puts you in position to succeed and to accomplish your fitness goals. You know this. They have been the best for so many years at this point in time, whether it's personal training, group fitness classes, just work out as you want. Their membership options are so affordable and will yield the best possible results for anybody who's trying to reach their fitness goals. No matter what your level of fitness is, TrueMav is there to help you. Your first workout free at TrueMavFitness.com. All right, where do you expect the Titans defense to improve the most year over year? Because there's a couple of different categories that they may have looked good in, but were definitely not good at. And I think most of you who watched all of these games will understand the context and the meaning of that, because their special teams were a disaster. Their offense were incredibly turnover prone. They would put the defense in a lot of bad positions. And also the defense wasn't great. I think they were pedestrian at best, and certainly one of the worst pass rush units in football last year. But speaking of Sweat, and given how important he is to any incremental or substantial improvement on defense, this was TVondre Sweat speaking with us on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm comfortable all the time, man.
Did you change, weight or anything like
Oh,
that?
yeah. Yes, sir.
What are your expectations for yourself and your team?
Be the best that I was last year. Be better than I was last year.
How refreshing is it to restart after? I mean, you're not used to going 3-14.
Right.
How refreshing is it to reboot this year?
I mean, that's just a chip on our shoulder, to be honest, and I feel like guys just out here on a different mindset now, and we're ready. We're ready. I feel like we're ready.
Rocket talked about pass rush, next step in pass rush being kind of the next thing for you. What kind of things are you working on to kind of advance the next level there?
Honestly, just quickness, man. Just recognizing stuff way more smoother. I mean, I'm going into my second year, and I'm a lot more comfortable, so.
I think we heard you're a co-captain or alternate captain on one of these 8 teams. How's your team doing?
Yes.
Who are you paired with?
I'm with TP, Tony. We're doing pretty good.
You talked about focusing maybe on weight. Are you down compared to last year?
Oh, yeah.
Time?
Yes,
how
sir.
much you think?
Ask Callahan, man.
Yeah, okay. But
There you go.
enough where you feel it, though, out here?
Feel what?
You feel lighter and faster?
Oh, I
and
feel
quicker?
great.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Did you ask JC about what his plan was? Did you guys have similar plans, or you have?
He's a grown man. He do his own thing, man. I do mine.
TVondre, I saw Sebastian was doing some things like yoga, it seemed, or hot yoga of some kind this off-season. Did you do anything kind of out of the ordinary or maybe outside the box?
I tried hot yoga. Whew. I tried hot yoga.
How did it go?
It was all right.
Did you
Try
try it again?
Pilates, too. I ain't going back to Pilates.
I think it's just awesome being able to ready.
So that's TVondre Sweat speaking with the media. Hot yoga and Pilates for T-Sweat. I do both of those things, and I just can't even begin to imagine a man that size doing that. It's hard for me. I'm 6'2", I think 10 this morning. A little heavier than I'd like to be, too. Perhaps I need to talk to J.C. Latham about his protein plan and things like that. But hot yoga is hard as hell. And, there's a lot of good elements of Pilates and hot yoga, though, for guys that size and just athletes in general, right? It helps you with your core stability, your knee stability, specifically with Pilates. And I think that there's a lot that can be gained. And I know Jeff has been at least you see a lot of it on social media. I know Jeff has been very active doing a lot of that core work to get to the best version of himself. It's going to be fascinating to see how the two of them work together and how much their defense improves as a result, because the Titans, the statistical area that I would expect them to improve the most in is the rush defense. 2,277 yards is what they gave up on the ground. The Panthers were the worst rush defense last year, 3,057 yards. But the Titans, that's so far below their standard. And I know coaching staffs change, and maybe, it's not fair to hold Brian Callahan coach teams to the standard that Mike Vrabel coach teams were held. But you shouldn't have those guys up front and be giving up, that many rushing yards in particular. Also, their red zone defense was ghastly. Their scoring defense specifically by percentage. I know teams didn't have to travel a lot of yardage to get to the red zone against the Titans, given a lot of the predicaments that they were placed in. But it would be between rush defense and scoring defense that I would expect significant improvement, no matter how much work has to be done on the personnel side. There's no excuse for being as bad as they were in both of those categories last year. All right, weekend bounce back is how we will wrap up for the day. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch. If you would like to get involved, Bert, is this video playback number 7, my bounce back video, or is there no bounce back video to be had? Your headset's not working, so you're just yammering and nobody can hear you. This is very embarrassing for you. I don't know why you were unprepared for this particular moment, given that you like to time. Yeah.
Hello? Can you hear me out there? Yeah, Roger. It kind of sounds like a damn fast food. You know, what can I get you? Can I get a number 2? No, we ain't got no damn video. Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, everybody that wanted to talk about Aaron Rodgers decided they said, hell with it. We ain't going to do a video. We going to send a tweet out.
All right, fair enough. Weekend bounce back the Steelers. They signed Aaron Rodgers. It feels like a terrible idea. You as a Ravens fan, you have to be.
Oh, boy.
Did you smoke a victory cigarette?
Oh, not yet. But I'll tell you, the first time, Lord, I hope his body hold up. I hope the whole season his body hold up. Because that first game, it ain't until like November. So he ain't gonna get the Ravens when it's nice outside, when it's warm in September, or even like the leaves are all crunchy falling. He gonna get the Ravens when you're like, damn, it's brick out here. And they gonna be knocking the shit out of his old ass. Gonna be like SpongeBob when they holler, it's like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? They're gonna be all on him like white on rice. I'm ready for it. I'm
excited for you. So the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, they both need a bounce back, even though that saga, thankfully, is mercifully over. And it dropped in the middle of Elon Musk doxing Donald Trump on the Epstein list, because you just can't have a slow day on Twitter. So that's going to do it for us tonight. We appreciate your participation. As always, have a great weekend. Radio show tomorrow. We'll certainly have Coach Dave McGinnis. We'll talk some Vols baseball because they've got Arkansas in the Super Regional. And we'll have a great time doing it from 10 to 1 on 104.5 The Zone. We look forward to seeing you there.
Go home! Go home! Go home! You're embarrassing Nashville! Go home!
Shit, boy.